Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, because Commander's number one. As you guys can see on the video here, I've got both Sherman and Slothy with me. Sherman, how you doing this week?
Doing good. It's spring, or not spring. Yeah, hang on. Is it spring or summer? Spring.
Yeah.
I can't think. No, like it's warming up, like getting excited. Like normally when it's nice weather, like today, it like I get together with buddies and we play outside, right? Because you might as well enjoy it. You might as well do something outside. But we might be playing Magic, but we're still doing something outside.
Honestly, Magic outside would probably be nice.
It's fun. It's good. You get a nice breeze and everything. So
Yeah, that actually.
How are you doing?
Good. That sounds actually kind of relaxing. I don't really like the heat. I was saying this, so I'm not outside as much in the summertime, and it's like already like up into the like in Canadian weather, at least in everything but not American weather. I would say it's already like 25, 30 kind of thing. So it's been very warm. And I was dying. But no, I got a ton of really fun games in last night. I got to see Tanner came out and played that like Shiko and Narset. I think I'm saying that one right. It's the Jeskai Precon that he edited up. It was a really cool deck, and got to play with some of the other Rogues Passage guys and had a fun time out playing games. So other than that, no, I had lots of fun. It was a nice week. I spent too much money on books the last time we recorded. You guys brought up some books. I was like, I like books. Let me go look at my books. And I was like, oh, cool. And then my lack of my lack of being chill has resulted in me now having, I think, 50 more books to read. So that's going well. And Slothy, how are you doing today?
Not doing too bad. It is very, very warm. My ideal temperature is around 5 to 15 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, you get it.
So I'm kind of melting. But
yeah.
Other than that, not too bad. Been a good week. I been looking into playing some Pauper lately. Yeah, that's about it.
I never tried any Pauper. Is it just basically it's just budget? Is that what it is?
It's all commons.
Okay.
It can be budget, but there's also some very expensive commons that were printed back in the day.
That is fair. Because it's whatever it was originally printed at. Is that right?
As long as it has a printing at common.
Okay, so it's if it has something that I think Ristic Study was a common, right?
I thought it was uncommon.
It was an uncommon.
It might have been, yeah. I'll play with Ristic Study enough. But okay, so stuff like that. So like Ristic Study could have been considered just an uncommon, even though it's a powerful card.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that. Before we get into our powerful card list, that's not all Pauper. I wanted to say really quickly, if you want any of these cards that we're about to talk about, go over to houseofcards.ca. Use the promo code IT99. It's going to get you a discount. It's going to support us. It's going to support a great business. House of Cards is wonderful to work with. Again, houseofcards.ca, promo code IT99. We're talking a Final Fantasy Commander today, and you're gonna want to go there and start buying these singles because they're going pretty crazy, to be honest. And then put them in our AI Armor sleeves. They're great. Also a wonderful company to work with. And let's go back into this. Before we talk the Final Fantasy Commander we're talking today, it's the highest selling Magic set to date. I think, what was it you're saying, Sherman? How much?
Like last time, like I read an article like probably a month ago or something like that, like a long time ago. And they said like the sales went up like 46%. Like so far just from the set alone.
Yeah. I will say I'm a Universes Beyond hater, generally speaking. Final Fantasy at least is one of the ones that I feel fits. Like I liked the Warhammer set, but I didn't feel the Warhammer set kind of fit with like the 40k guns and everything. And so it's that, but Final Fantasy does feel more like it fits into the universe. The cards that they've spoiled on it have looked really fun so far. And this new one that we're looking at today that you built a deck on, it's going to be very popular. It looks really fun.
Yeah, so it was leaked a week ago or so. So I'm like, okay, let's build it, and then they officially spoiled it today, and that's going to be Tifa, Martial Artist, and that's going to be for a 1 and a red, green, and a white. For a legendary creature, human monk. It's a 4/4 and has melee. So what is melee first? Whenever this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each opponent you attack this combat. So if you're attacking one person that's already getting a +1/+1, so it's going to be a 5/5, then you attack someone else, it's going to be a 6/6, right? So if you attack all three, it's going to get 7. It's going to be a 7/7. Now, what happens at that point in time? So whenever one or more creatures you control with power 7 or greater deals combat damage to a player, untap all creatures you control. If it's the first combat phase of your turn, there is an additional combat phase after this one. Okay, so we're looking at extra combats built in.
Sweet. I really like this card. I don't think I've seen it yet.
This is really quickly to talk this card here. This doesn't say it triggers just once a turn, right? Or is that what they like? Are they stopping because it's the first combat? You don't get the others.
It doesn't stop. Like it just gets it until end of turn.
No, but it says if it's the first combat phase of your turn, there's an additional combat phase. But it's whenever one or more creatures you control with power 7 or greater deal combat damage to a player, untap all creatures you control. That's not. It's that gives you 3 untaps if you hit like separate players.
No, if it's a first so like you only get one additional combat phase. So because it says like if it's your first combat phase this turn, there's an additional combat phase after this, right? So when you attack the second time, it's not the first combat phase. It's the second combat phase.
But I'm talking about the whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, untap all creatures. You can trigger that 3 separate times by damaging separate players. So you would get a triple untap on your stuff.
Pretty much.
And it's not all attacking creatures. That's pretty.
Yeah, it's not all attacking. It doesn't matter. So we don't care if they're attacking or not. They just untap. If
it's the first combat phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. I don't know. I'm gonna have to read how that one works. It's a weird ruling. Even at its like the floor of it though, of just being able to pump everything with that melee ability, as well as then get extra combats. That's gonna make your commander a 10/10 on the swing.
Yeah. So that's what I kind of based the deck around, as that understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, yay, let's go nuts. Okay.
Well, you don't have to as well. You don't really have to. I like a deck like this before we start it and stuff, right? I like it because I'm not. A lot of times we see people in games. Okay, well, I'll swing at you this time. Oh, I know, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, I'll swing at you. People try spread it out. They try spread the love out and be like, okay, well, a lot of times people lose games, in my opinion, for that reason. They spend too much time trying to be friends with the table instead of just trying to do what a win. But a deck like Tifa, Castrol, Rigo, all these things, I'm attacking every turn. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's I want my melee trigger, so everyone gets it. I like everyone can catch these hands kind of deck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've got I'll pull up your list here. You have Samut in the command zone of the list.
Yeah. So because I built this, if you look at the creation date, I built this in April the 21st, and that's when it was first leaked out. Okay, it wasn't spoiled officially, but it was leaked. I'm like, I'm gonna build it. It actually leaked before the 21st. It's just like, I'm like, you know what? I decided to build it. So it's been like almost a week and a half or so. So on Architect, which is where I build everything normally, they still haven't added it because they just got spoiled today. So that's why Sam is here as a placeholder. And as well, this deck is kind of based around my Samu deck that I already have, which is the Driving Force. So, but yeah, that's just a placeholder. And I say, like, we go in order of everything because I'm going to try to start doing what Daniel does here on his deck.
Hooray, no instance. Woo!
Now, I don't know if that's what he means.
That's what he means. You heard it. It's legally binding.
I don't have that many instances here. I don't have much interaction. Truth be told, like I have interaction, but not that kind of interaction. To be honest, I'm running 7 instants and 8 sorceries.
I think I frustrated some people last night when we were playing because of that playstyle. Because that doesn't matter how much removal you pack if all I have is creatures. You have to remove me. I'm not good at removing threats on the table, but I'm good at removing players.
Yeah. So this deck is like 7 instants, 8 sorceries, and I have 40 creatures.
Let's go.
I have to quickly. I'm talking about that. I have to look at a lot of old rules and stuff. Someone in the comments like pointed out to me on the last episode. They're like, "Oh yeah, like you can't from outside the game doesn't include exile anymore. That was like a changeover. So exile is its own zone and not outside the game. So like Fae of Wishes can't grab things with Tevo. I'm gonna be honest, probably still gonna play it that way. You know what? I understand the official rules, but apparently I don't for that one. But you know what? I get it. If you want to play it that way, play it that way. I don't know the distinction of like, actually it's a sideboard. It's not. No, it's from outside of the game. That's how I'm playing. You guys could refuse to let me if you want. That's fine. It's called cheating. Look it up.
Who cares?
It's called cheating. Look it up. Anyways, so thank you actually for giving me that rule thing because that was an interesting rule to learn. So thank you for that in the comments. Now back to Samet. You want to go in the order that you have it here? I like the number 1, number 2, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's crack into the dorks. So our first section is mana dorks. We got a lot of ramp here. Also, as well, the fact that Tifa can make these mana dorks so big, like back to back, is pretty fun because that's a 6 pump. If you're attacking twice, our first one we have is an Avacyn's Pilgrim. That's gonna be slamming in for a 7/7 later in the game. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have our Avacyn's Pilgrim as our first one. 1 green. It's a human monk 1/1. Taps and adds 1 white.
Then we've got the Birds of Paradise. It's a single green for 0/1 bird with flying. Tap to add 1 mana of any color.
Any deck that you can hurt someone with a Birds of Paradise. Oh.
Yeah, gotta get that flying in. Next one's gonna be Druid of the Anima for 1 and a green. Elf Druid is a 1/1. You can tap it to add a red or a green or a white to your mana pool. So all of our colors.
Yeah, I like that. We have our basic Elvish Mystic here. Our 1 green for an Elf Druid 1/1 that taps for a green.
Then we have our Findhorn Elves, which is a 1 mana 1/1 Elf Druid that taps for green.
Honestly, I need Findhorn to be reprinted again. I'm all out of them.
Yeah, that's fair.
I remember when they first reprinted it, everyone was celebrating because the only one that was out there was like from Ice Age.
Yeah,
with a horrible art.
It's still one that doesn't pop up as much though. It's kind of like 3 Visits. 3 Visits also I think really needs another reprint for how popular it is.
Yeah,
I think both of those cards were. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Weren't both of those cards Findhorn and 3 Visits reprinted in the same set too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Green needed some love, obviously. Doesn't get enough.
Clearly.
Yeah, you gotta believe me.
All right, let's go on here. Then our mana dork is going to Elysian Caryatid for 1 and a green. It's a creature. It's a plant. It's a 1/1. Tap it to add 1 mana of any color. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, add 2 mana of any 1 color instead.
That's nice. Like I said, I really, really quickly, if you're just having a pretty good game and you start like turn 1 mana dork, turn 2 mana dork, turn 3 your commander, turn 4 you might be able to swing out for like 30-40 damage like back to back because again your commander hits up to a 10 and these are going to be 7, so even with 3 of those, like that's 38 damage or something like that, or 31 damage. It's a lot.
It's a lot, and you also run into a chance that the person you're attacking with Tifa, they might not have blockers up yet. Still.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, you only have to get through 1, and there's a lot of games where, pretty much every game, to be honest, you're going to have one person who just doesn't want to lose their commander or their creature, so you swing your now 7/7 Tifa at them. Okay, I guess I'll take 7.
Yeah,
I've got a lot of decks that I'm not throwing my like commander in front of your 7/7. You can hit me. All right, chill out. I'll just ask you to not do it again. We have as well this Intrepid Paleontologist. 1 and a green for a 2/2 human druid. It has tap, add 1 mana of any color. 2 and a tap, exile target card from a graveyard. I like that, so you can get rid of shenanigans. And then you can cast dinosaur or creature spells from among cards you own in exile with it. If you cast a spell this way, creature enters with a finality counter. Okay, so you can remove dinosaurs from your graveyard if you want and recast them. That's cool.
Yeah, but we don't have any dinos, so we're okay for that.
It's more just an answer to people if we need.
Yeah, like it's a mana sink, and like at the same time, like It's another mana dork. It's a 2/2, which is like a decent body.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's why we mainly have it there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Llanowar Elves. Green mana for a 1/1 Elf Druid that can tap for green.
And after that, we have an Ornithopter of Paradise for 2 mana. It's a 0/2 flying flyer, and you tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Once again, like, just like the Birds of Paradise.
Yeah. Honestly, a very fast ramp section here. Like a lot of, like this deck has a ton of very explosive turn 1, turn 2 kind of potential.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. This is, I don't normally see you play straight like creature aggro, right? So it's really fun to see. But like, again, it's a very, very solid ramp section so far. Now we've got a Plagmere. Don't like that, Sherman. That's not nice. It's 2 mana. It's a mana dork. You've got to believe me. So we have our, a turn 1 Soul Ring Plagmere. I might be like, what kind of pot am I in? So we have this Plagmere, 2 mana for Phyrexian Mirror, 1/1 with Infect, which is Infect and a pump commander. Pretty scary stuff. And then it also taps for a colorless.
Totally worth getting this one. Just like the fact that you can like kill someone with Infect out of nowhere is kind of silly with this deck.
Is this what set is this next one from?
Ixalan, Lost Caverns.
I didn't buy like any Ixalan, and I really like the art. Again, I say it all the time, like every week when we're looking at like these cards up close, you get to see a lot more of the artwork. I love the artwork on the next one. It's really cool.
Yeah, next up we got the Poison Dart Frog. 1 and a green for a 1/1 frog with reach. Tap to add 1 mana of any color, and pay 2 to give it Death Touch until end of turn.
I want to play out of this.
Fun little guy.
Yeah, he's just a little guy. I want to play out of that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice threat.
Yeah, because it has Death Touch, right? So either you attack with it and you get it like in the damage, or it's better just to keep it back because it has reach, and like we will have problems with flyers.
Well, but again, you have to remember too, right? Your commander is going to trigger, as far as I understand, and sometimes I don't understand things. It is going to trigger a ton of untaps, right? So especially like when you're swinging out with these kind of things, right? You'll have a ton of mana to be able to be silly with, and like you can full exile someone's graveyard still while swinging, make this like Death Touch still while swinging, and then still having it up as a reach Death Toucher. Like there's definitely a lot of like good things you can do already, even just with your mana dork list, right? But that a 1/1 with reach that can turn into a Death Toucher very cheap is scary. But he's such a friendly little guy.
It's a little guy. He's a tiny guy. Come on.
He's just a boy. Leave him alone. Are you? Yes, your next one.
Dead one. We can do the next thing.
True. I think it's you on this one, Sherman.
Yeah.
Oh, is it me? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I read the frog.
Oh, okay. So we got a Reclusive Taxidermist for 1 and a green for Creature Human Druid. It's a 1/2. It gets a +3/+2 as long as there are 4 more creature cards in your graveyard, and you can tap to add 1 mana of any color.
So
once again, we're playing 40 creatures.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually a pretty good little dork there. Oh, I really like this next little line here. That was already all of it. You have a Ruby Daring Tracker, which is really fun. I keep wanting to build a Ruby deck in general. 1 red, 1 green for a 1/2 Human Scout with haste. When Ruby attacks while you control a creature with 4 or greater, Ruby gets 2/2, which is awesome as well. And then it's just a raw mana dork from the command zone. I really, really want to build a deck out of this commander, and I love the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that one's sick.
Ooh. Have you seen the alternate art for this one?
I have not.
Let's see here. Oh, the anime one? Wow.
Yeah.
What's that from? Championship promo? Oh, that's pretty sick. I wonder how much that one is.
It's free. Can't you see by this thing?
All I have to do is win the championship.
Oh, yeah. You just have to play interaction until you can beat everybody
what?
else. Oh.
It's really
right.
It's really fun because there's I've been playing a little bit more like spell table games and like going out and like with like some of the Patreon like some of our awesome people on Patreon. Oh yeah, by the way, come over to Patreon. Forgot to say that in the thing. Like, share, subscribe our videos. Come over to Patreon. But I've been playing people with Patreon. If you want to play spell table games with us, come over there. It'll be fun. Got a whole spell table set up. It's lovely. But a lot of people hear me speak all the time about not having answers, but still threat assess as if I'm holding answers, and they're like, I don't know, he's got a lot of mana up, and I'm like, yeah. I'm holding 6 lands and a Seedborn. I'm like,
yes, I have counter spell.
I was doing that all last night with the Niv Mizzet deck I played. I just kept leaving 2 blue mana up, and I don't really play counter spells. I have one in that deck that is I think Ionize and Mindswipe are the counter spells in that deck, only because they're damage counter spells. And I just kept leaving like the counter spell 2 blue up and being like, pass. No, this the ruby's very cool. I got to quickly find out how much that other one is. You take our next one here, Slothy.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Selvala, Eager, Trailblazer. 2 green and a white for a 4/5 legendary elf scout with vigilance. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token with tap and have target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. And then Selvala has tap. Choose a color. Add 1 mana of that color for each different power among creatures you control.
Yeah.
So like we have a chance of creating more people that we can use to either pump or attack. I'm down for that.
Oh yeah,
I like it. I really like the Selvala too.
Yeah, I'm glad they brought her back. So this one seems like a fun commander just to play around with as well. So next up here we have is a Twitching Doll for 1 in the green. Artifact creature Spider Toy. It's a 2/2. Tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Put a nest counter on the Twitching Doll. You can tap it to sacrifice the Twitching Doll. Create a 2/2 green spider creature token with reach for each counter on Twitching Doll. Activate only as a sorcery. So once again, if let's say someone we have this out and someone wants to board wipe it or anything, or no, it wouldn't survive. But anyways, we would get final push, to attack and everything on. So and go from there.
Yeah. What's with this artwork? Is that full of spiders?
It is.
Yeah, it's all spiders.
Well, I don't like that.
Duskborn was so cool.
Are we on this next one, this Whisper here?
Yes.
Oh, that's on me. Sorry. I was I'm not even kidding. I'm just over here ordering that Ruby card. We've got Whisper of the Wilds here. One, and it's like $9. That's fine. I'll build that tomorrow. Whisper of the Wilds is 1 and a green for a 0/2 human shaman. It has tap for a green, and then it has also ferocious. So kind of like the Elysian, if you control a creature with 4 or greater, you're going to add 2 green instead. I like it.
Yeah.
Solid ramp section. 16 dorks is pretty rough.
But we want to make sure we have a lot of mana.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like our commander makes it so that our mana dorks are actually kind of useful, so that we can attack with them. So so we might as well utilize the fact that it is a resource to get our stuff out as fast as possible, and then just start attacking, right? So, and at the same time, we need a lot of mana because we want to make sure our guys get beefy quickly, and that's what the next section's all about.
Yeah, there's some top end you got to reach.
Anthems, pump, win. It's fair, straightforward.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I guess it's me reading this one. First up, we've got Always Watching. 1 double white for an enchantment. Non-token creatures you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. Solid for being able to
nice.
swing. Yeah, you're able to swing and then still use the mana afterwards.
Yeah. So, and then the next one we have here, it's going to be Angelic Sellsword for 4 and a white. So a little bit more expensive, but once again, we have so many mana dorks, it makes no difference. So it is a creature, Angel Mercenary. It is a 4/4. It has flying. It has vigilance. Whenever the Angelic Sellsword or another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token with tap. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Woo! And we have one more ability. Whenever the Angelic Sellsword attacks, if its power is 6 or greater, you draw a card. Chances are it will be 6 or greater.
That's really cool. Have I just hated on these old sets too much? Because I've seen some pretty cool stuff in here.
This was Thunder Junction.
Yeah, and I didn't like Thunder Junction.
I don't think you were hating on them. I think it's just
you don't think I was hating enough? I need more hate in my heart. That's a really cool ETB.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really like that card. And it's very cool artwork too. I'm a big fan of all of this. But yeah, that's with how many creatures you said you're 40 plus creatures in this deck?
40 creatures.
That's a ton, and it is really nice as well. The ability to use them to pump, to just use them as like aggro dorks to throw at people. It's got draw built into it. I got nothing bad to say about this card. That's really cool. We have Beastmaster's Ascension because Sherman is mean. 2 and a green. Whenever a creature you control attacks, you can put a quest counter on it. As long as it has 7 or more quest counters on it, creatures you control get 5/5. Why wouldn't they, right? 8/8
exactly.
the way you're out here swinging.
We got beefy creatures. So what?
Yeah, thick boys coming through. I get it. No, Beastmaster's Ascension is great. And it's so nice to see Beastmaster's Ascension all the way down at 349.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did reprint it quite a bit.
Well, it's just a nice strat. It's one of those ones that's kind of like I want to kill the table cards, right? It's that Overwhelming Stampede, Triumph of the Hordes, although Triumph of the Hordes is so expensive right now still.
Overrun.
Yeah, exactly. And, those things, right? So I really like those kind of things, but a Beastmaster's Ascension coming down is rough.
Yeah, having it on an enchantment as opposed to just a single use sort of thing is really nice.
Yeah. As well, the I always play this card. I never play it to build up my counters. That's just not who I am as a person. I put it down so I can swing.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is my creatures are getting 5/5 this turn. So Beastmaster is a game ender for me.
Yeah, exactly. But next up here we've got Joel Real, Wanvoli Recluse, 1 and a green for a 1/2 legendary elf druid. Or human druid, sorry. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 green cat creature token. And then 4 double green until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, another
chance of getting big.
Another scary pump, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things with like most of our creatures are like we have like the 1/1 mercenaries, we have the 16 mana dorks, most of them are 1/1s anyways. So like this is in a sense already like sure it takes 6 mana to pump them up all by 1, but they're all bigger.
Yeah, they're all now 6/6s or whatever.
Yeah.
On top of any +1/+1 buff.
Yeah. Joel Rail can go really hard.
And that's So, and that's part of like the way like I thought of it with the next card here, which is going to be Kudo, King Among Bears. So it's a green and a white for a 2/2 bear, legendary creature. Other creatures have base power and toughness 2/2 and are bears in addition to their other type. So like once again, most of our creatures that are mana dorks are 1/1s, right? And then we get the occasional mercenary that's a 1/1. So everything becoming a 2/2, it's like they all get +1/+1.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is then you've got no fear swinging into anyone because your melee trigger is going to just make you more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just gonna murder everything.
Yeah. What's up? It's bear time. I love Kudo in general. I love the flavor text. I love the artwork. I love the card. I love the salty ability it has. It's pretty phenomenal. The flavor text, the born from the greatest granite boulder, nursed on the sweetest honey, crowned amid a raging storm. That is, people do rage when you play Kudo. I've never had anyone be like, oh, that's fun. That's fun and interactive. We have our Mirari's Wake as well. I also don't see Mirari's Wake as much in games anymore. I really like that card. 3, a green, a white. Creatures you control get 1/1. Nice anthem. And then when you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana of any type that land produced.
Yeah.
I like mana.
Yeah. This is another one I really wanted to build. You got a lot of cool cards in here that I don't get to play very often, Sherman.
This next one, I ended up building for my brother-in-law's friend to teach him how to play Magic. Got one of the Demon Flare proxies for it, actually.
That's cool.
We got Raga Draga, Gorgut's boss. 2 red and a green for a 4/4 legendary human boar. Other creatures you control with a mana ability get +2/+2. Whenever a creature you control with a mana ability attacks, untap it. Whenever you cast a spell, as if at least 7 mana were spent to cast it, untap target creature gets +7/+7 and gains trample until end of turn.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I I like every part about this card too. I like the effects; they're really cool. But I also just like that the name. Every time I hear someone say it, it just sounds like me trying to explain to someone like what I want the guitar riff to go like. You know, like you got to just like a rugga drugga. It's I really like it.
I know exactly what you mean by that.
Exactly, you get it. That's like it's a little going to the breakdown. We get a little rugga drugga. It's everyone's like, okay, I understand that little pig squeal. I think it's who is it here?
It's me next.
Sorry.
It's me next. All right, we got Return of the Wild Speaker for 4 in the green. It's an instant. You can choose one. Either draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control, okay, or non-human creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn. So, unfortunately, this does not work with our commander, but at the same time, we have so many creatures, we don't care.
Yeah, no, I like that card, but that's especially with like your mana dorks, that's a +6. You swing with your commander. Your Return of the Wild Speaker. There are 7/7s on the first swing, 10/10s on the second. I died of Birds of Paradise. Pack up and leave for the night.
There you go.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a low salt summary. Come on, it's a low salt summary.
I do like it, and it's as well. It's not a. I would say it's a more expensive deck than we've been. I like that lately we've been building deck shells, kind of things. Like I've been playing just a lot of very extreme budget kind of stuff, but this is like again, this is still not a very expensive deck. Like it's expensive compared to what we build a lot of the time, right? But $160 is by no means out of the ordinary in the realm of deck building. Like I think you're getting a fairly strong, from what I'm seeing so far, you're getting a very strong functional deck at that, right?
Yeah, like you can do a lot with that amount, right? Mm-hmm. So it's pretty good still. It's really nice because the budget is still reachable for most people.
Yep.
It's not like this deck is like $500 where like, oh, I need a Smothering Tide, I need a Fairy's Protection, I need all these things. No, like it's still like a bracket 2. It's still low, like on the price so that people can afford it. And some of these bigger cards, if you can't afford those bigger cards, there's you can easily find replacements for them. So,
yeah, like you could budget this up a bit, but again, it's not out of the realm of possibility. And like you said, right, when you're not having to stuff a Doubling Seas and a Seedborn, everything into the same, like there's just so many like, oh, okay, not every deck needs like a Yavimaya, Cradle's Growth kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Sovereign Okanek Ahu? That's how I'm saying it.
Sure.
Yep. 2, 1 green, 1 white for a 3/4 Cat Noble with Ward 2. Whenever this buddy attacks, for each creature you control with power greater than that creature's base power, put a number of 1/1 counters on that creature equal to the difference. That's really fun. I like that.
Fun fact for those
everything gets
listening.
Bigger faster.
Fun fact for those listening, it actually does say whenever this buddy attacks on the card.
Exactly. You gotta believe me. I'm gonna call him Gregory.
Whenever my main man Greg attacks.
Yeah.
Next up here, we've got the Spear of Heliod. 1 double white for a legendary enchantment artifact. Creatures you control get +1/+1. You pay 1 double white and tap it to destroy target creature that dealt damage to you this turn. Yeah.
It's nice removal. Like you can hit me, but I will destroy like whatever it is hitting me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of nice.
I like having a threat ready.
Yep. The next one here is going to be a Thraben Watcher for 2 double white. It's a creature. It's an angel. It's a 2/2 with flying and vigilance. And it has other non-token creatures you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance.
Yeah, I do like that. That's cool, Angel. You don't really see that one too often.
No.
The vigilance is nice as well. We also have our Ultramarines Honor Guard, which is one of my favorite cards I think they've printed in a long time. It is 3 and a white for a 2/2, Astartes Warrior. It's got Squad 2. As an additional cost, cast it, you can pay 2 any number of times. When it enters, you create that many tokens that are a copy of it, and other creatures you control get 1/1. I find that this is just a fun thing to get down early game, but if you draw into this late game after a bad board wipe, you can still possibly just like have a reset field with the 1 card. I really like this card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for its price, it's an overperformer almost every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So like this card should be more expensive.
Yeah. Well, again, like I said, early game is just a little Anthem. Even if you get, generally speaking, I view this as like a 6 cost because the lowest I'm casting it for is the 1 extra squad, right?
Yeah, you're not just playing it as it is.
Yeah. But again, a 6 at that point, they're going to be 3/3s because everything gets +1/+1, the other ones. So you're paying 6 for 6 power is all right to me, but it just goes up exponentially for how good it is later on. I really, really like the Ultramarines Honor Guard. It's one of my favorite cards from that. Oh, I hate this card. I was telling Brady last night, the next card, I don't think I've actually won a game ever if this card has hit the table.
Yeah, we got War Leader's Call. 1 red and a white for an enchantment. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, War Leader's Call deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Yeah, this card like Bloodline curses me.
I think this is the most expensive card in the deck right now currently. So like if you take it out but you want the same effect, I would say go with some sort of, once again, creature anthem as opposed to the damage part.
Mm-hmm.
I just have it, like, the damage is really nice because, like, once again, we're playing with 40 creatures, right? So that's a lot of damage.
Well, yeah, it's just nice passively on the side.
Yeah. So, like, if you need to replace this and be like, oh, like, I'm going to put in Impact Tremors. No, don't put in Impact Tremors, because we don't care about that as much as the Anthem. We want the Anthem more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you care more about the overall power while you're hitting people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the faster we make our guys big, the better we're going to be.
Yeah. We go into your draw section here.
Yeah, so, you know me, I love half card draw. And since we have so many mana dorks, we should be getting, like, we're going to spend a lot of mana doing the card draw thing so we can get into more things because our curve is going to be a little bit more on the lower side. So we have like draw / card advantage here. We have 17 cards here, not including what we've already seen. So it's technically a little bit more, but mainly 17. And I guess it's my turn, so I'll start it off. So we have a Beast Whisperer for 2 double green, creature, elf, druid, 2/3. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you draw a card.
Yeah, always a good card. We have our Camaraderie, 4 green, a white for a sorcery. You gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number of creatures you control. Creatures you control get 1/1 until end of turn. That's doing everything we want.
Yeah. Then we've got Cut a Deal, 2 and a white for a sorcery. Each opponent draws a card, then you draw a card for each opponent who drew a card this way. I like this one.
Mm-hmm. I like their little bartering they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just like Cut a Deal.
Here we have is going to be. Oh, sorry. Say it again.
I was just saying. I just also really like Cut a Deal. It's a cool card.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's like semi-group hug, but like it's just like you give everyone 1 card and you draw 3, so like it's pretty good. So, next card here we have is Guardian Project for 3 and a green enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control or a creature card in your graveyard, you draw a card.
Yeah, commander bait card.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Unless you're playing like Heir Apparent. We have a Harmonize here. 2 green, sorcery. You draw 3 cards.
Then we have, I like this one. We've got Lenore, Autumn Sovereign. 2 green and a white for 0/4 legendary human noble with Coven. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. Then if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, draw a card.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun card because you're still pumping something up, so it's really nice.
Yep.
Next one we have here is going to be Lauren of the Third Path for 2 and a white. It's a human artificer. It's a 2/1. It has vigilance. When Lauren of the Third Path enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. You can tap it and you and target opponent each draw a card.
I love Lauren.
So good. It's so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I also really like Mangara too. Mangara always just performs great for me. 3 and a white, Mangara the Diplomat, 2/4 human cleric. With lifelink, whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of them are attacking you, you draw a card, you or a planeswalker. And whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, draw a card. That's the one that I see trigger the most, and I love that.
Mm-hmm. Then we've got, that is a lot of words on that card. Fabine, Boss's Confidant. 3 and Naya for a 3/6 legendary cat advisor. Creature tokens you control have haste. And has Parlay. At the beginning of combat on your turn, each player reveals a top card of their library. For each land card revealed this way, you create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. Then creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn for each non-land card revealed this way. Then each player draws a card.
I really like the parlay mechanic. Yeah, that's Fabian's really fun. I have a Fabian deck.
Yeah, like in this deck, like Fabian is almost like a game ender.
Well, especially you get multiple combats, right? So two of those parlays is great. Yeah. 2 draws is great. Again, another. There's a high chance you hit 4 non-land cards. Pump, hit 4, pump everything +4, +7. Hit it again that way. Another 4, like 4 +14, +14. Fabian coming down is going to be mean. Again, it's worse.
Like I said, it could be a game ender.
It's worst case scenario is just giving you more things to swing out with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. More things that you can.
And that's the thing, right? So, like with all of our anthems, whether we either make them big or we go wide, we don't care. She's still going to dominate the board.
The commander's already a pretty mean anthem.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So the more anthems we put down, it's awesome because that means we get like more creatures that are already like 3/3s or 4/4s or 5/5s. If that's not the case, then they're all like 9/9s instead. Okay, fine. I don't care. I'm still coming after someone. I'm still getting in some damage, and I'm still going to get an extra combat. I don't care.
I want to quickly read this Tifa.
Yeah, the bean's awesome. But the next card here we have is Rites of Flourishing.
One second here. I've been reading this wrong. Tifa only triggers herself when this creature attacks. It gets 1/1.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been thinking that the whole episode I've been talking like Tifa gives it to everyone.
No, just Tifa.
Okay. Well, that's still cool then, but very different
you sound very disappointed.
It's not as strong as it. Do you have Adriana in this list, Sherman?
No.
All right, well, put Adriana in the list. Adriana's other creatures you control have melee. No. Like I said, I misread that when we first started. So Tifa's getting the big buff, but again, you have so many other pieces that are getting a buff too. So
yeah.
Okay, carrying on with the right way.
Okay, so we have a Rites of Flourishing for 2 and a green. Enchantment. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. Each player may play an additional land on each of their turns.
It's Group Hug.
It is Group Hug. It's Group Hug, and I'm here for it. We have Rumor Gatherer, which is always just such silly artwork with the little bear. I love it. 1 double white for a 2/1 elf wizard with Alliance. Whenever another creature enters under your control, scry 1. If it's the second time it has resolved this turn, you draw a card instead. I like that. I love that artwork so much. It's very cool.
Then we've got Season of Growth. 1 and a green for an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card.
Yeah, we're probably never going to draw a card with this. We're probably just going to be scrying like crazy. That's all we care about.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because we have so many creatures that we're casting or are coming in. Just the scry effect is just more effective, and we have nothing that really targets. Like, we don't have much interaction. So yeah,
being able to dig deep like that is still nice.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Next card here we have is Secret Rendezvous for 1 double white. It's a sorcery speed. You and target opponent each draw 3 cards. This is one way to make friends real fast.
I really like all the. I like the white card draw that they've been putting in with the other people draw because I have Group Hug in my soul, We have Selvala again, one of my favorite legendary creatures ever printed of all time. Selvala Explorer Returned is 1 green, 1 white for a 2/4 elf scout. It has Parlay. Each player reveals the top card of the library. Like I said, I love Parlay. For each non-land card revealed this way, you get a green and a life. Then each player draws a card. Powerful ramp. And again, just good draw overall. It always people don't really want to kill it usually.
But the fact that you'll be attacking people like crazy, they'll probably want to kill you.
A lot of times I'd rather still leave it alive because I want to. Maybe you'll draw me to an answer.
Yeah, that's true.
Next up, we've got Shamanic Revelation. 3 double green for sorcery. Draw a card for each creature you control. Then it has Ferocious. You gain 4 life for each creature you control with power 4 or greater.
That's a nice second main phase card.
Yeah.
It's nice for that, and at the same time, like, let's say like you don't want to attack or anything, that's fine. Like most of your anthems should pump you up to the point where most of your mana dorks are 4/4s at least anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Or at the same time, you also have those mercenaries, so they can also like contribute as well by either being 4/4 themselves or tapping to make something 4/4 or like 4/0 or whatever, like 4 power at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's me next. Next one is going to be Smuggler's Share for 1 and a white. It's an enchantment. At the beginning of each end step, draw a card for each opponent who drew 2 or more cards this turn. Then create a treasure token for each opponent who has 2 or more lands enter the battlefield under their control this turn.
That's a great card too.
Really good card, really strong. Like we have things like Selvala, we have parlays, stuff like that. So
draw a card for beginning each end step. Draw a card for each opponent. Drew 2 or more. That's awesome. I don't play Smuggler's Share very much either.
Pair this with Howling Mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's in. I think it's only in commander decks. It's coming for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should only be in like 3 commander decks or something like that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is it's not a card I seek out very often, but it's very cool. Then we have 2 arms. 1 and not 2 arms. We all have 2 arms, hopefully, but it's 2 arms. Gearing up. 1 and a white. Untap all creatures you control. Draw a card. That's always frustrating when you think that you finally have a way in. Sherman's been a problem. I'm gonna try swing back at him. Everything's suddenly untapped.
That is the power of 2 arms.
That is the power of 2 arms.
Yeah.
Are we jumping into this section 4 now?
Yeah, section 4. So section 4 is going to be mana sinks. So we have a lot of mana from our mana dorks, and we're using that mana to draw cards, do this bunch of stuff. But sometimes, like we still have a lot of mana and we can't do anything. It just happens, right? Mm-hmm. So we need some mana sinks just in case.
Yeah. Our first one here is Gerard's Battle Cry. Single white for an enchantment. 2 and a white. All creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice simple anthem. So like we have 6 mana. We pump up everything like +2/+2, which is nice. It might help us get over that threshold of 7 that we need to get to second combat, but we just go from there, right? So
yeah.
Is it me or? Oh no, that's Sherman. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's you.
No,
I
that's
think.
me. Next, because I thought you were gonna say something. Sorry. Next card we have here is gonna be Lion Sash for 1 and a white. It's an artifact creature, equipment cat. It is a 1/1. For a single white, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a permanent card, put a +1/+1 counter on the Lion Sash. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each 1/1 counter on Lion Sash, and it has reconfigure for 2 mana.
Yeah, I like it. I like reconfigure a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We have Scavenging Ooze again to hate graveyards even more. 1 and a green, 2/2. Exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, you put a 1/1 counter on this and you gain 1 life.
Yeah, I think this is our 3rd graveyard hate card, and like let's face it, like there's a lot of graveyard shenanigans lately. I don't know about you guys, but I've been seeing it a lot lately in my play groups, and you have to have more graveyard hate nowadays because there's too many things that like you return from a graveyard, or people are like dredging or delving or things like that, right? So throw in more graveyard hate is what I say at this point in time.
It's better to have the ability to do it, because again, that card just passively is okay, whatever. You can exile some things, gain some life back. But if someone needs their graveyard, that's a different story, right? You can change the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe it's Slothy.
Yeah. Next up here we've got Shalai, the Voice of Several. 3 and white for 3/4 Legendary Angel. Voice of Plenty. Flying. You planeswalkers you control and other creatures you control have hexproof. 4 double green. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
Solid mana sink too.
Yeah. Good for protection. Good for a lot of things.
Yeah. Shalai was the original commander of my Elves and Angels deck, just for that reason of using all my mana dork elves to dump into that, and then I changed over to Selvala. But Shalai is a blast to play.
I can see that. Yeah. Okay. That makes Okay. Last card we have in this section is going to be Veteran Beast Rider. It's going to be a 1 and a green and a white. So Human Knight 3/4. At the beginning of your end step, untap each creature you control, and then for 4 mana, so 2 and a green and a white. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. This is actually kind of strong, considering that it's like a semi wilderness reclamation or
Seedborn at home,
like Seedborn Muse or whatever.
Yeah,
I like it. That's actually a pretty, especially for a 35-cent card. That's actually something that's like definitely worth picking up. It's on the list. We go into our removal section here. I don't even know how to pronounce the word.
Can't even say the word.
Yeah, right. Let's start us off here. We have a Beast Within. Nice and simple. Hit whatever we want. 2 and a green. Destroy target permanent. Its controller gets a 3/3 green beast.
I'm glad that you've got some land hate in here, Mr. Sherman.
That's all I use it for. Hitting people's colored mana it really, really changed the game.
See, lands are, I've said it before and I'll say it again, lands are getting too powerful for us to just be expected to just leave them alone because they're lands.
Well, again...
hitting a basic land with that is kind of different.
But again, with how much ramp that you have really quickly, like with how much ramp is available, right? There's a lot of decks that I see a lot of very, very selfish hands kept because I've got this and don't worry, I'm going to get to a ramp thing. And if you can beast within an important color in a deck, like they're playing something, they're low on mana and they only have 1 green, that is going to possibly wreck the game for them, right? Draw as many cultivates as you want. Where's your green?
Yeah.
I'm a giant advocate of blowing people's lands up with Beast Within and the other one.
Generous Gift?
That's the one, yeah. It is. I'm a generous god. Don't forget that. You wrecked my Urborg.
Technically speaking, Generous Gift is cheaper than Beast Within, ironically enough.
Yeah, I like it.
Next up here, we've got the Cathar Commando. 1 and a white for 3/1 human soldier with flash. Pay 1, sacrifice this creature, destroy target artifact or enchantment. I like the flash on this one.
Yeah. 3/1's an annoying blocker too to get rid of. You could really quickly, I was going to say the 3/1 is also kind of working as like a piece of removal.
Yeah. Yeah, the flash is really, really strong for it just because like it's so defensive and like it's basically like, for 3 mana you destroy an artifact or enchantment. Like there's a lot of spells that require 3 mana to do the same thing, but like you get a creature at the same time, and we have cards that benefit from creatures coming in or casting, so why not? So, next card here we have gonna be Druid of Purification for 3 and a green. Human Druid. It's a 2/3. When a Druid of Purification enters the battlefield, starting with you, each player may choose an artifact or enchantment you don't control. Destroy each permanent chosen this way. This is such an annoying card.
I find the opposite. I find that it's a nice way to get multi-removal without making everyone as salty, because it's, okay, what do we want to remove here? I like it.
I still find people being salty for this because like they can't target your stuff.
Well, it's also nice, too, that this does not target. This is choose.
True.
And choose is rough. We have a Nomade Shepherd, which I'm grateful to see in this list here. 3 and a green. Elf Shaman 2/4. You tap 4 untapped creatures you control, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Phenomenal in creature lists.
Then we've got the Thrashing Brontodon, 1 double green for a 3/4 dinosaur. You can pay 1, sacrifice this creature, destroy target artifact or enchantment. You do have a dinosaur in here.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I do have 1. I guess I should take it out. Hang on.
1's all you need when it comes to dinosaurs.
I can put it into Caterpillar instead. That's only a 1 mana for a 1.
True.
Next card we have here is going to be Voracious Varmint for 1 and a green. It's a varmint. That's 2/2. Vigilance. Tap 1 mana, sacrifice it, destroy target artifact or enchantment.
Yeah.
Solid.
You have some removal. I have some interaction.
Yeah. I like it. This is my kind of removal section.
What, 6 cards long?
Yeah, exactly. We have a section of board wipes here. Is it me?
Yeah.
Let's go. We have Austere Command. 4 double white. You choose to destroy all artifacts, all enchantments, all creatures with mana value 3 or less or 4 or greater. I love the utility of it.
Yeah, so this can help us quite a bit because a lot of our stuff is going to be like for like creatures, the mana value is going to be 3 or less anyway. So like we're going to pretty much always almost always choose 4 or greater, and then all artifacts or all enchantments is just like a bonus for us.
Yeah. Then we've got Dusk Till Dawn. The Dusk side is 2 double white for a sorcery. Destroy all creatures power 3 or greater. Dawn side is 3 double white for a sorcery. Has Aftermath, so you can only cast this spell from your graveyard, then exile it. Return all creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah.
Which fits a lot of the creatures that you've got.
Yeah. So, like, Dusk I know will hit our creatures, guaranteed. Okay, fine. But we can bring him back, which is the key point, right? Because, like, normally after a board wipe, people are struggling to rebuild their resources. Well, we just need to tap 5 to get all of our resources back and just start dumping our mana dorks again, right? And they're all cheap, so we should be able to dump them out fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many more sections? We got 2 more. Maybe more.
We got 2 more. So our next one is going to be for protection. Okay. So first card here is going to be Forest Charm for red and a white. Instant. Choose one. Forest Charm deals 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. Permanents you control gain indestructibility until end of turn, or target creature gains double strike until end of turn.
I like it.
The double strike actually matters because if we get a free attack game with our commander, it's basically commander damage game over for one player.
Yeah, that's actually wicked. We have a Heroic Intervention, 1 in a green. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Is that just because of the version? Why is that one so expensive? Or is that just what the card's worth right now?
That's roughly what the card's worth right now. The
wow, they're all
Forgotten Realms Commander one is
I just saw
$20.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a good card.
You're not wrong. It's very cool artwork on the Tales of Middle Earth one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Lord of the Rings one. So
next up, speaking of cool arts, Make a Stand. 2 and a white for an instant. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain indestructible until end of turn.
Yeah, I like it.
Then we have Unbreakable Formation for 2 and a white. Instant. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Has addendum. If you cast this spell during your main phase, put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures, and they gain vigilance until end of turn. So this is really strong as well, just because, like, if you want to try to, like, swing out at someone, and you don't care, like, you're not worried about dying because they're all indestructible, right? So just gotta make sure they don't have, like, enough mana for Settle the Wreckage out or something stupid.
True. I get Settle the Wreckage so often. It hurts.
As is deserved.
Then we have some free attacks. This is our 8th section here. We have Bond of Discipline. 4 and a white. Tap all creatures your opponents control. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. I love cards like this. The things that tap everything. They're just so fun. They're just simple shenanigans, and they are hurtful when they happen.
And that's the thing. Like, with your commander, you get a free attack in, you deal the 7 damage. Let's say just, like, the 7 damage. Okay, you gain, like, whatever life. That person might be dead or not. Who cares? And then you swing in with everything else again.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, especially with an extra combat zone in the command, like extra combat in the command zone. Yeah, that's problematic.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Champion of Lamholt. 1 double green for a 1/1 human warrior. Creatures with power less than Champion of Lamholt can't block creatures you control. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of Lamholt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Champion's going to get big.
I just scrolled down to your maybe board there too. Also really like it.
Yeah. So, like, we got lands after that. Nothing major in lands. So, like, the biggest thing is going to be, like, Gavany Township, because it has the ability 2 and a white and a green, and tap, put a counter on each creature you control. So it's going to be another way to boost up your guys. Keep to create more creatures, and that's about it. Oh, and Rogue's Passage, because we want that unblockable from time to time just to get in, right? So those are the only lands that really kind of matter. After that, as per, like last time I said, I'm just going to start putting in a maybe board for all my deck techs, just so if people want to, like, throw in things that would upgrade or, like, overperform in the deck, they have that option. Okay. So, first one you have here is going to be End Raise Forerunners. for 5 triple green creature boar 7/7 has vigilance, trample, and haste. When it enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain vigilance and trample until end of turn. This is a really strong card. I don't have it in there just because it's like 8 mana, and I don't really have it. You know, I needed to cut stuff, so. But this is a fun card.
Yeah. Is it me next or is it Slothy?
It is you.
Flawless
You next, Dan.
Flawless Maneuver is another great card. One of the free cast spells, 2 and a white. If you control a commander, you may cast without paying its mana cost, and creatures you control just simply gain indestructible.
Yeah, it's a great card. It's just because it's expensive. That's why it's not in here. Most of these cards, like if they're not in and they're really good, it's because they're probably too expensive, to be honest.
Yeah, still very nice though.
Yeah.
We've got Grand Crescendo. X double white for an instant. Create X/1/1 green and white citizen creature tokens. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn.
Yeah.
Great card. I love that card.
Mm-hmm.
Next one. Sorry, did you say something, Slothy?
No.
Okay. Sorry. I'm hearing things. Next one we have here is going to be Harvest Season for 2 and a green. The sorcery. Search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the number of tapped creatures you control. Put those cards on the battlefield, tapped, and shuffle. So we're going to ramp some more with this. We have 16 mana dorks. Chances are you will bring out a lot of basics. So, and that's just going to help thin out the deck so that all of our card draw matters just that much more every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've got a Kamal's Will here. Another great. It's a nice cheap piece, but 3 and a green. It's an instant. Choose one if you control your commander as you cast it. You may choose both. Until end of turn, any number of target lands you control become 1/1 elemental creatures with vigilance, indestructible, and haste. They're still lands. And choose target creature you don't control. Each creature you control deals damage equal to its power to that creature. Yeah?
Yeah. I look at this card more like a go wide with your lands, just because like we're drawing so much, we're going to like pretty much hit our land drops like almost every single turn for the most period. So like that extra amount of like attackers that go in along with our anthem themes should be able to take out the table.
It kind of feels like it's a too much in this deck. You know, you don't really need that many extra 1/1s. I see why it's maybe board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next up, I really like this one. We've got Kutzel, Malamet Exemplar. 1 green and a white for a 3/3 legendary cat warrior. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Whenever one or more creatures you control with base power greater than its Whenever one or more creatures you control, each with power greater than its base power, deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Words are very difficult this morning, apparently.
Yeah, it's a good card. Like, it's good because like you don't have to worry about people like trying to fog while you're attacking, and that's the key. I don't care about anything else. I just care about the people fogging. So, but I just don't have the room.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, the next one here we have is Leafkin Avenger for 2 and a red and a green. Elemental Druid. It's a 4/3. You can tap it to add green mana for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. And it also has for 8 mana, so 7 and a red. The Avenger deals damage equal to its power to target player or planeswalker. So we can like take out someone, but I think it's gimmicky.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Well, it's all right though.
Like definitely more of a jank card, that's for sure. But just didn't really have room for it.
That's fair. We have our Leyline of Abundance, which you've got so many dorks. This one would be solid too, and a nice mana sink later on. But again, I like your list. Before we keep going with this, I like your list. It seems like a very fun deck, very functional deck. I'm heartbroken that I don't have reading comprehension and that melee doesn't work the way that I want it to. I wish it did. Honestly, I might just illegally give that Adriana card green and just pretend Tifa who never heard of her. But anyways, the cards don't have melee, but this is a great mana sink as well. Your Leyline of Abundance, 2 double green. If it's in your hand, you begin with it on the battlefield. Starting with this on the battlefield is also another one that I've never lost a game from. Anytime I've had a Leyline of Abundance out, I have run away with the game so hard, and that could be because I'm playing things that just really, really do work with it, like my elves, like those kind of things. But having a Leyline to start is absolutely correct. whenever you tap tap a creature for mana, it produces an additional green. It is so strong. You know, like if you have a turn 1 and turn 2, like Avacyn's Pilgrim to Birds of Paradise, and only 1 mana in that hand, you have a 1 mana hand that's capable of generating 5 mana turn 2 deep like that. It's so good. And then for late games,
I was gonna say, yeah, it becomes a much more playable option just keeping 1 land if that's the case.
I would almost never throw this away in the decks that I would put it in.
Yeah.
And then it's 6 double green, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control is also a phenomenal way to dump your mana in your commander. Having that untap ability can also make it pretty problematic.
Yeah.
Next up here we've got Preposterous Proportions. Love it every time. 5 double green for sorcery. Creatures you control get +10/+10 and gain vigilance until end of turn.
Yeah.
It's a fun game ender.
Yeah.
It's silly. 10/10 is crazy.
It is silly. Last card we have here in the maybe section is going to be White Sun's Twilight for X double white. Sorcery. You gain X life. You create X 1/1 colors Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. If X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. Chances are it's going to be more than 5. Because we have so many mana dorks.
Yeah. I like that.
So that's basically the deck. So it's basically we want to pump as much mana into casting things, and most of that time it's just going to be drawing more cards, which is going to get us more mana dorks, which we can throw down and cast more card draw in order to get to our big anthems and just swing out.
I love this new part of Architect at the bottom here, the probability if you've drawing at least one. 72% chance to draw a mana dork, 95% chance to draw a land. I like it.
Yeah. It's really, really fun. So even if you go if you click on the thing by instead of categories, you click on types, you'll see I have 40 creatures. So there's a 98% chance that I will get a creature in my hand.
Yeah,
opening hand. Enchantments, I have 10. Instants, I have 7. Sorcery, I have 8. Most of my stuff, like I said, is just based around creatures. I want a lot of creatures. My creatures either draw me cards, are mana dorks, do some removal, or they're anthems, right? So they're all helping each other, and we just go from there. And I'm going to swing wide because I have anthems. So
yeah,
if Tifa gets in and does the damage and I get a second combat, awesome. If not, I don't care. You're still gonna die from a lot of creatures swinging wide.
I like this. I like this a lot. I was playing with that tool at the bottom. I think this is a very cool deck. I don't really see you build a lot of decks like this, so it's a very cool way to look at the take on it. Especially the Tifa is such a cool looking card just in general.
Yeah,
and it's a fun way to not go into try breaking it. I think so many people are going to have that initial desire to try to be like, how do I infinite combats this, right? And this is again, this is just solid creature.
Sorry, say it again.
I was saying it's just a solid creature deck. It's just a fun, cool way to play it.
If someone wants to do the infinite attack things, go with that stupid God Mole thing from Murders. Okay, that one's really easy to do, really easy to pull off. You can basically throw in all the same stuff in here minus the white stuff into that deck, and then you're good to go. Just throw in some fogs and you have infinite combats. It's boring. Infinite combats are boring. This is more fun.
I find a lot
by far because this.
I was just saying, I find a lot of infinite stuff bores me.
Yeah.
The way I look at this deck, in all honesty, is just this is a kind of deck I would give to someone that wants to learn, and you're playing an LGS and they're like, hey, I want to kind of learn, I want to play a deck. Oh, okay, you know what? You might like this deck here because it's very, very basic. You're throwing stuff down, you're learning about summoning sickness. They're tapping, they're getting a lot of resources from all the mana dorks. They're drawing in the cards, so they're drawing into more resources, and they can just swing wide, and it's very, very simple and easy to understand. And you do some math at the same time because you have a bunch of anthems. It is a very basic deck, but at the same time, it is a very fun deck. because like I said, I do something similar with Sam for this, and it's really really fun.
Yeah. Again, I don't have any problems with a deck like this. I like to these are the kind of decks I don't mind losing to. You know, it's fun. This is just like a good. It's gonna be a strong deck. You're gonna perform really well with all these like dorks and stuff. But again, this is just like plain simple, like not salty Magic.
Yeah.
Down home creature beatdown.
But that's it.
Yeah, I like it. Let me roll some of these sponsors here quickly, and then let's crack on out of here. It's where's that button? There's that button right there. If you like what we are doing, it really helps us out if you like, share, subscribe. Just with anything, it helps people see it. It makes it so that we can do more stuff. The more people see it, the more we can do, obviously. If you want to go above and beyond supporting us in the easiest way, which is sharing that, come to Patreon. You can pay basically as little as $1. Come hang out with us. Come chat. It's a great spot to chat decks. It's a great spot we're going to be playing spell table games and everything. So I've gotten a few separate spell table instances with people from Patreon. It's been a lot of fun. I'm excited to lose to a Kellen deck again from Thunder. That was heartbreaking. Yeah, so if you want to do that stuff, come over to patreon.com, support us there. It's a nice, great way to support us. Above and beyond that, go to houseofcards.ca, promo code IT99. You're going to get discounts on all these cool Final Fantasy cards and just cards in general, like those heroic interventions right now. Ooh, those are pricey. But yeah, promo code IT99 is going to get you a discount. It supports us. It supports a great business. It gets you cards from a great inventory of cards, and they're wonderful to work with. And last but not least, throw these in the really cool AI armor sleeves. I really like them. I think they're a nice brand, nice company, and I love the quality. I wouldn't tell everyone to get them if the quality wasn't great, and it's been nothing short of phenomenal for me. So that's it. Everyone gets a little music. Now, no more music.
All right, laters.
See ya.
Later, everyone.